Hey, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuits, and I'll tell you what, man. Today I found out they don't want to do a sci-fi campaign. They want to do a cowboy campaign, an Old West campaign. So I started working on the focuses for the Tomorrow Comes Doom system, which are essentially feat trees or talent trees that you use to build specific types of characters you want to play. So I started working on those today for the Western one, which I had nothing prepared for and didn't think anybody was going to want to do. And now I can use some of my medieval buildings, but not all of them. So I'm kind of like, I want to make at least one Western building. And I have no Western miniatures, so I got to figure that out too. So for my building, I have a Swiss Miss box. And I've mounted it to a piece of game board. Pardon me. Pardon me again. Holy crap. I'm going to get some cardboard and a metal ruler and a chopper. And again, grab a couple glue sticks. And I'm going to make some trim to sturdy up this building. This is a game board box that I'm cutting up. Is that tall enough to do twice? Maybe. We'll see. Maybe it is. I can measure, I guess. I guess that's something that can be done. So this is what? 10 inches. And this is more than 5 inches, I'm guessing. And that's about 5, a little bit over 5 inches. So yeah, I won't get 2 out of each of these. I will snip these off though. I've never made an Old West building. But it seems to me like a lot of the Old West stuff is kind of like wood and blank. And sloped roofs, sloped panel roofs, flat roofs, stuff like that. So okay. So let's snip these down to where they're a little more manageable. Glue on top. And I'll just keep the excess pieces for whatever. And then we'll snip off the excess from the roofs too. So we'll sturdy the box up, the Swiss Miss box up with these. And to do that, I'm just going to come on this side of it where it's got the shiny. I'm going to vaguely cut it in half. And I'm not measuring anything. And then I'm going to try to fold that and see if it'll work. This might be too thick and it might not work. Yeah, it looks like it's too thick. Regular cardstock will do it though. I just wanted to use these because I thought it was sturdy up. You know what? There's other options. I'm being a crackhead. Let's see how tall a tongue depressor is. That might work. Popsicle stick will not. So we could use some tongue depressors. And I guess the best way to do that would be to just kind of get that and take it up the side, pull it out a little bit, something like that, make it flush on the front. And I'm not going to worry about making it flush on the back. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Let me lift this up. All right. Western minis. I don't own any. I mean, I have an Indiana Jones, but I didn't think they were going to want to play the Western campaign. I thought everybody had agreed they were going to play sci-fi. So my Western campaign is not going to take place in historic United States. It's going to take place in a fantasy version of a historic United States. And though they have implied that they just want humans as playable race for this, which is weird because they always want to be weird shit. I have decided that I'm not going to use history. I'm going to make a fantastic made-up world of the Old West with 3 variant humans you can play. Maybe 4 variant humans you can play. And I'm going to call that a win. I'm going to cut these off. Whoosh. Just like that. It's pretty late at night for me to be starting a video. Alright, tone depressors. Well, this one seems thinner than the others. It's probably not. I'm just a crackhead. Now, I would assume that a Western building is probably significantly more square and straight than a medieval building. But if we spent all day measuring and making this perfect, it would be unbearable. Earlier today, I made a land speeder for Star Wars, or like sci-fi. Where's that at? And I made this all out of garbage, pretty much. It turned out pretty good, but I guess I'm not working on that now because my time does not account for playing a Texas or a Western game Friday. I love my players. My players are predominantly my biological family. My one son's girlfriend. My best friend. So I, of course, will try to do anything I can for them to give them the game experience that they want. But Friday's cutting it close. I'm just putting this here to hold these down and sturdy this up. I'm coming out to the edge. I'm just going to flush that up the best I can and let it cool for a second before I let go. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Some in the crack. There we go, something like that. Then we'll just come in, snip off the crap. Now, since this building's not going to be something you can physically interact with and go in and out of, you can kind of play with what you want to get it how you want it to be sturdy or how you want it to look. So for me, I know I'm going to have a second floor with a balcony, and the doors and windows are just going to be something I stick on there. They're not going to be interactable. And the only reason I'm going to have this, and I'm also going to have a stairwell along the outside, and the The only reason I'm doing this is so I can have multiple levels, because I don't have too many 2-story buildings for my D&D stuff. Because my thought is, it was impractical in medieval times to have tons of 2-story buildings unless you were wealthy. So most villages that organically grew probably had a lot of 1-story buildings. Again, I'm not an expert. That's just all made up out of my head shit. But in Western times, it was probably more common and more practical to have multi-story buildings, you would think. So now I'm just going to come here and create the structure for planks. And I'm just going to walk those right up to the base to save time. And that's not going to work. Okay, that is not going to work at all. I thought it was going to work. I was incorrect. Okay, we're going to change plans on that. So what we'll do is we will get these in place. Ow, that's hot as shit. Oh, you bastard. Okay. And then we'll just kind of dry fit these and glue them in place as we go. You really only have to worry about the front and sides. You can put the backs of the building kind of how you want, within reason. You don't need to put a lot of effort into that, I'm guessing. And you don't need to make this perfect by any means. By the way, these planks aren't perfect either. I just kind of cut these willy-nilly and randomly. Okay, let's get some more pieces here. I don't even know at this point if I want to take the time to do the front or the sides at all, because I am in such a hurry to come up with a bunch of stuff for this that I'm not prepared for. I got to figure out my miniature situation for damn sure. But I want this to be like the main kind of base of operations where they have their gunslinging and stuff out of, maybe where they stay. And I'll do interior work for it too, obviously. But instead of it being a piece that I open up and work at to do that, my plan is to make it just, you know, I have an inside of the inn, and it'll be the TARDIS effect. If you're not familiar with the TARDIS effect, it comes from the Doctor Who show. And what it is the TARDIS is a phone booth, but when you go inside of it, or a police call box or something like that, but when you go inside of it, it is great big on the inside. And so if you're going to have some kind of fantasy Western tavern, and you want it to be reasonable in size to what it was going to be on the outside, but you want it to be kind of interesting on the inside, that's what you do. You make the TARDIS effect. And when people ask about it, you say, would you like to have this place be more interesting or less interesting? And then they have to answer that question honestly. And most people will say, okay, yeah, I'd rather it be more interesting. It's just a command decision you got to make. Now, see, that's overlapping that a little bit. That's all right. That's not going to hurt nothing. Just leave it go. Okay? And we'll continue on. And we're going to get little pieces to fill out these edges. If we're lucky, before too long here, we'll have a nice looking saloon with a brothel on top. Mrs. Doom is going to play a flapping Western prostitute, lady of the night, if you will. She has called dibs on that role. Ow, that burns. Ah, come on, you bastard. There we go. Oh, it's been a long day, dudes. By the way, I have a best friend that is still alive. That's a blessing. Technically, I have two best friends, and they're in like different best friend categories. But anyways, one of them was my oldest living friend in the world, and his name is Cheesy D. It's not his name, that's what I call him. And he's not really cheesy either. But his name starts with D. I named my third son after him. And then I have a Scorbic as my best friend too. So I'm like doubly blessed in super best friend land. Okay, and that's plenty good enough for what we need at this point. And we should do the sides, even though I don't really want to. Yeah, I know, I'm terrible. Let's snip these in half and see what can be done. Yeah, it's not really perfect. But it will make our work a lot easier. And that's really what it's about, I guess. All right, so once we get those that are in half, let's take a couple of these and cut them in quarters. Can you see? I don't even know if you can see. Sorry about that, I didn't even look. We're gonna cut these in quarters. So we're just going to cut them in half once, vaguely in half-ish. And we're going to use these to make some staggered planks. All right. On the side here, let's make sure that first one kind of sits flush against the bottom and flat. And we'll do the staggered ones. And then we'll just kind of rad-dad down this side here. I really didn't want to put this kind of effort into it, but since we're here hanging out, let's do it, right? Right. Won't you be, please won't you be a crafter? We were talking about making an intro, Lady Doom and I, of me coming in from work clothes and then putting on ratty sweatpants and a stained up sweatshirt to go craft. Like Mr. Rogers, but in reverse. I don't know. And then, you know, we just laughed and didn't do it. Oops. Didn't really want to get any up on that wood there, but it happened. That was a thing. We're not allowed to have music because I don't know what I can legally play and not play. So I just play nothing and talk. If I edited videos, I would try to figure it out and put some background tunes on, but if I play something that comes on and we're not supposed to be listening to it because somebody will get mad or whatever it might be, then I don't want to get in trouble. And I don't want my channel to get in trouble. The good news is we never have to worry about getting demonetized. Yay! Oh shit! I already had glue there. Oh well, that's what happens when you're Russian. When you're Russian, you make mistakes. No, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. That's not appropriate. That's not the kind of conversation we're going to have here. Or should we? Nah, we better not. We'll keep that conversation out of it. All right. We're getting there. For something I didn't really have a good prep for. I mean, I was cutting these pieces I'm using as planks for something else entirely, so they just kind of became impromptu planks. Effing spider webs. Ugh. I hate spider webs. Let's get some more planks cut up. I am not doing the back. That's just not going to be a damn thing. No, it's not. Man, how'd these get all bent up? I think I've been up bad. No problem. Snippity snoop, snoop, snoop. Now, if you notice you're starting to slant one way or the other, just every so many lines, make sure you make a really straight one. So, or else you'll end up like your shit will be all catty-cornered, you know what I mean? Catty-wampus. Wonky. Whatever term you prefer. All right, we're getting close, kiddos. Don't you worry your ugly little heads. We're going to have this place manufactured in no time. Tell you what, there's this place right across the river from where I live that sells pre-manufactured homes. And I imagine they're of very similar quality to this. Again, I imagine. No fact there, just thoughts. I assume I'm going to hit this with black spray paint. I say assume because I really don't know what I'm going to do yet. If I use foam, that might not be the case. I don't foresee me using too much foam here, but you never know. And one last piece. And now we'll cut it nice so that it fits pretty good. And that didn't matter whether it fit good or not. All right. I'm looking for a scribing tool of some sort here. And where's that one at? There it is. These are like clay tools or something. And this one has two kind of grooves on it. So I'm going to use that. I'm just going to half-ass drag some texture across this. Very unstraight, apparently. I don't know if that's even going to show up in the final product at all. I don't know how good that will or won't show. It might not even show up, so could be wasting time. pardon me. I don't know how that's going to show up, so let's just hope it doesn't, assume it won't. All right, so for the rooftop, you just need a kind of lip of some sort up here. Anything you have that'll elevate that some to make the roof slope back a little bit should be good. I don't know how important that's going to be. So for me, I'm just going to get a dab of glue here. And this is pretty flexible. And then I'm going to snip off the excess. Then I'm going to get the roof, which I pre-measured and pre-cut. And I'm going to get a dab here. And I'm going to get some back here. And that, in theory, and only in theory, should be pretty sturdy. I'm going to fill this gap up here, which you're not really going to see too much. But I just want to make sure my roof is sturdy. And then I'm going to cut this and oops, that didn't do what I wanted it to. See if I can't get these to glue in kind of like that somehow. No, it doesn't seem like it's going to work the way I wanted. Let's see if I got any more popsicle sticks. Well, I got coffee stirrers. Yep, that'll do it. There we go. And where's my snippers? This will sturdy it up some. Oh, goodbye. Sweet. Now we need a balcony. So for our balcony, what I'm thinking is we want it to be big enough for a miniature to stand on. So let's get a piece of, what do I got? That's pretty thick stuff. Yeah, hell with it. Let's do it. Where'd I put that metal ruler at? I lost it. There it is. So we know that this metal edge, or this metal ruler here, which is part of an old metal speed square, is just about, this is 1 inch. So I'm just going to roughly go a little bit beyond that inch. And I'm going to create my balcony piece. And then I'm going to assume that I need to measure to cut that off. So I'm going to get my pen. I'm going to lay it down here so I can mark it easier. And I'm going to attempt to cut it as flat as I can. Sweet, just like that. Now, because I want this to look good, and I'm just going to use these. I'm just going to create planks with them. Similar to how I did the sides of the building. Okay. Okay. Yeah, saw you guys through the camera eyeballing them popsicle sticks. Thought we were going to do something fancy. That'll learn you for thinking. We're going to do it cheap as shit. We're going to use this snack cakes box. Oh, damn you. Look what I did. Messed it up. We're going to use that snack cakes box and do a budget. That ain't cutting shit. And that sucked. Okay. And we're going to want some texture on this. Oh. Just making sure nothing else is popping off. We're going to center that right on there. And to make sure this is kind of straight, then we're just going to get some more glue. Ugh. We're just going to get started here by putting a little bit on the outside. And get it centered on that kind of. And just make sure it looks kind of straight. Then we're going to let it sit there for a moment and cool. Then we're going to come in here. And we're just going to run a thin bead. Cool. Now, we need some supports. I had skewers out earlier. Skewers, we're here. Oh, here we go. We're going to get some skewers. We're going to make, actually, time out you. Time out you and you. We're going to make a little roof that comes down and overhangs a little bit. So this is about almost 2 inches, I'm guessing. And let's do this little deal again. That's my flat side. Let's come up here. Let's put a little glue there, a little glue there, and kind of set this down like that, and then pull it out like that. And then we're going to hold it at that angle. There we go. And we'll let that kind of cool down. Now what we're going to do is not what I was doing before, but we're going to take this and we're going to measure that like that. And we're going to make several of those as similar as we can. And it's easier to use one of these to measure what you want to cut instead of trying to cut one individually. So that's what I'm trying to do. Okay. I just want to come a little bit from the inside there. And then I just want to get a little dabby dab of glue there. And then I want to get up underneath here. Just grab a little bit so it sticks. Come close to the edge just like I did on that one. Flinging shit all over the place. And this time I'm going to lift this one up a little bit. Just get some glue there. There we go. Sweet. Now we can see that I messed up my angles and this sticks out a little crooked across the front. So because that's going to irk me, do that. Now I didn't really have a plan for planking this or raking this a roof at all. I had no plan. I didn't even think about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're gonna I overestimated how fast I was gonna be able to place those, I think. In my head, I was just going to throw them all on there and it was going to be awesome. That's not how that worked. Okay. And now, I'm just going to kind of come under here, toss a thin bead, and get them back into place. And let them cool. And I'll continue down the way. Nice. This time I'm going to do it smarter. And they're not going to be so hard to mess with. Let me check the time. We might have to turn this into 2 videos. Yeah, we're going to turn it into 2 videos. Maybe 3, actually, now that I think about it. I didn't think it was going to take this long. In my head, this was going to be relatively quick. I'm getting cocky. I've been making too many videos. I think I know what I'm doing. Before long, I'll be telling people I'm a professional. We know what that means. That's the end of it. Professionals think they're worth something, and they have expectations. We don't want that. I think I can do 2 at a time. God, I hope I can. Okay. I hear that if you have 2 of these in your hand, your chances of succeeding 2 at a time are far better. More glue sticks. And I think if we use some kind of fatter ones, That'll work out just nice. Okay. Now I'm going to come across here with my scissors. Let me get scissors that cut. Because those ones ain't cutting shit. And I'm going to come across here. And I'm going to try to follow the edge of that. Something like that. Okay. Now, there's some more things I want to do. Let me think about this for a second, because I don't have a lot of cardboard sitting over here, and I have to go in the other room to get stuff. So this is like a thinner cardboard, and I think we can use this for what I want to do. Okay. About how big is that roof? Okay. All right. So we're going to find a flat edge here. Okay. Then we're going to start cutting strips. Just like this. Man, I think I'm about to cut through my mat. I just bought this mat too when I finished the monster manual. It's nice. I'm just doing a bunch of different shit this week then. I was actually excited to do the Star Wars stuff, but I already messed up some of my videos. I deleted them off my phone, but I thought I uploaded them. And so I deleted them, and I woke up, they hadn't uploaded, so they're gone. And some other little problems that kind of hurt me. And then one video, I somehow had the part 2 too, and I didn't have the part 1. And I'm wondering if I ever recorded the part 1 or if I deleted it accidentally somehow. All right. Now, in theory, these will fit on here with a little bit of overhang on both sides. And you can leave a little gap there if you want. I'm going to do the front end before it gets out of control. Okay. We'll just work our way back. Huh? Whew, good Lord. Ambition strikes again. Ambition 10, Doom 0. Get a thin one. Oh my gosh, pure luck. pure luck. We want to make sure that's flush. Same thing on this side, make sure it's flush. Nice. Okay, now you can, if you want, use a popsicle stick to trim that. Not a popsicle stick, what is this thing? A coffee stirrer. Now, I'm not really worried about the back there. I'm just going to run a bead of glue there. Okay. What do you think? We're starting to look something like we know what we're doing, huh? Just given the appearance that we know. So that would be kind of cutting it really close for a railing. But we can use that to create a piece of trim for that. So we're going to do that. No, I did cut that right-handed, so I don't know how good it's going to be. I have to come back and cut her as a lefty. And dry fit it one more time, and somehow it's way too short. Okay. F it, I'm not sweating it. Close enough for government work. 2% margin for error. Okay. Well. Okay. Now we have to trim out that front. Let me see if I have any more of those coffee stirrers over here. Yeah, I do. Grab a couple coffee stirrers and trim out the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip that off flat. I'm going to snip that off flat, just like that. I'm going to come here. I'm going to run a bead across. Just like that. And that. Okay. I'm going to grab any of the excess with my thumb the best I can, so it's not all over the place. Okay. Now, I would suggest, if you want this to be sturdy, you consider putting a third thing there. But depending on if you want your door in the middle or not, that could become problematic. I'd really like this to be done. And we're really close. So I know it's going to go over an hour, and I apologize. But if you want your Western build, I was going to put a ladder on the outside too, or stairs, I mean, and I didn't. But that's okay. We can still, well, I could technically still do that. All right, so let's get one of these. Let's do our railing. And you want your railing to be functional, but not overly large. So all I'm going to do is, because I still want to be able to get miniatures up on here, is I'm just going to do something like this. And I'm going to let that cool for a minute. And then I'm not going to put a railing on that side in case I want to put a stairwell or a ladder, but I am going to flip this up on this side. And I'm going to glue this like that. Okay. This is going to provide just something so miniatures don't get knocked off easily as we're messing with shit. So let's get a window and a door going. So for our door, we want to have one of those kind of like swinging doors, you know. So let's get some scissors. Try to cut a square the best we can. Is that a square? Looks like one. Wooden frame. Excess glue off. Snip it flush. A little bit of glue. Something like that. Okay, now this is a problem, so to fix that, we're just going to use our knife. Straighten that out. Perfect, okay. Let's snip some of that off, clean that edge off a little bit more. And we need our doors. So the swinging doors have a kind of traditional shape to them that we're used to seeing. And that's what we should try to reproduce. So to do that, let's get something that we can cut. Thinner than this, thicker than that. Cardstock. This is a part of the box that I made all those planks out of. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this into 2 pieces. And we're going to trim that. We're going to trim that. Then we're going to create that classic kind of shape. And we'll see how those work out. Pretty close for a guess. Yep, real close. Okay. So we're just going to snip a little bit off the back end on both of those. And we're going to get those, how was it, like that? I really wish I could look at a picture of those before I do this, because I can't remember what they look like. In my head I see one thing, and I'm thinking the bottom of the door frames are flat now, the flopping doors are flat. But I can't remember. No problem. Okay. Not perfect, but you can tell what it's supposed to be. All right. Now I'm going to get something sharp. I can find something sharp. I'm going to get something sharp, and I'm going to draw a fake frame around here, coming down, just like that. And I'm going to fake plank it. Okay, going to pop a couple little verticals on that. Now I'm going to cut some pieces to go flush on there. And I'm just going to make, if I can find that pin. Yeah, I'm going to cut 2 of those. Okay, and that's going to simulate the look we want. The best we can. I'm going to get under your head for a minute here. And I just want to make sure that's centered before I push that in. All right, for windows, let's get our 1-inch measurement piece here, our metal slide. And let's cut a couple 1-inch pieces. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure, I'm going to cut this square. I'm going to measure 1.5 inches. Five, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we want to do something that's probably not wide enough. All right, let's focus on these windows though. So we need 2 for the top floor, 2 for the bottom floor, and 1 for each side of the building. And what I want to do, if you can see, is I'm going to get my glue gun. I'm going to go on the top of the window, squeeze that down, pull off my excess glue. Use snippers like a wise man. I'm just going to do each one of these that way. Okay. And I'm going to build all my windows like that. Okay. And they don't have to be perfect by any means. Oh, you bastard. I had it ready to go too. And then spider webs happened. Now, if you wanted to, you could put crossways in these windows. I probably wouldn't do it with this. I would probably use something thinner. And then I would probably think about putting like like a little something on the bottom of each window just to decorate them up a little bit. Something like this maybe, just to make them a little more interesting. You don't have to put a lot of effort into this or even give a shit about it. Just throw it on there, call it a win. Never make big 2-story buildings, okay? That's the secret to this craft. Don't do 2-story buildings. If you had time to kind of lay everything out and do it, it might be better. But I freestyled everything. Except for the planks, I was making them for something else. I was making them for a spaceport build. Oh, my stomach's growling. I know you're thinking, why don't you just cut all the pieces and then do it? Yeah, you're probably right. But I don't claim to be a genius, so let's stop what we're doing. I was going to build a door upstairs, because how do they get to the balcony? But now I'm thinking, I don't want to build a door to the upstairs. Where's my piece? Where's my done window? Oh, there it is. Man, I went crazy. Okay. Downstairs windows. Now I'm just going to center those as best I can, freestyle. Oh shit, Chris. Okay, that's just part of it now. All right, top windows. I'm going to do a little different, speed this up. Okay, I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. Maybe. No, I better not. I don't want to ruin anything. We got a good thing going here. Let's keep it going. Watch out, though. All right, we're going to do it smarter this time than we did on the bottom, for damn sure. All right, so we're just going to cut it like that, like that. Oops. Well, that was not wise because I did not measure them right and that one's off. Oh well. Which leads me to believe they're all going to be wrong now. Nope, that one fits. Not sure what I did wrong with that one. Yep, that one fits too. Okay. Same thing. You want to get that in there. Kind of center it above that window above that's down there. And same thing with this one. And I was going to have a door up there, but I don't. But I have this open. I could easily do stairs or anything I wanted to coming down there at a later time. So this is it. This is the 2-story brothel, tavern, you know, whatever kind of build. It's pretty sturdy, actually. Can't believe that. What I would do quickly here is to make sure this is sturdy. I would get that there, like that, get there like that, and then I would snip that off. Okay, yeah, that'll be sturdy. Get spider webs, or leave your spider webs if that's what you're about. I'm going to come back after this is painted up, and it probably will not be tonight. But I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for taking the time to be my dudes. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit all that stuff you need to do. I apologize for the length of this. I should have planned better. Off screen, I'm going to clean up some of these spider webs and some of this stuff, and I might, I was going to build a deck down here, and all I'm going to do that is something like that, okay? I'm just going to build flooring down here, and it's time to go. I got to go do other stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll come back and paint this up. Maybe it'll look good. We'll see you next time.